I'm Logan T. Smith with Opinions Subject to Change, and today we're going to do another one of the more casual episodes, sort of like the things I'm doing on Patreon, where I talk about each of the videos that I review with spoilers and talk about the specifics of things that I like and things that I don't like. Today I'm going to talk about E.T. Now, I haven't done a review of E.T. I haven't scored it or anything like that. I'm confident that if I were to run it through the scores, it would do quite well. E.T. Came out in 1982, just before I was born. So I didn't watch it when it came out. I don't know what it was like to have watched it when it came out. I did watch it as a kid, though. And watching it as a kid, I was watching on VHS, of course. And I mean, this is probably common. I don't actually know. But my perception as a kid was that there were bad guys in this movie. That the adults, particularly the one where we mostly at the beginning we see like the keys on his belt rattling, that he's the bad guy. He's trying to capture E.T. And so the most recent time I watched this was last fall. I think it was last fall. Anyways, whenever it was, I was an adult. And the previous time I watched it, I wasn't an adult. I was a kid when I had watched it last. And so watching it again, as an adult, this movie is way different. Because the adults aren't bad guys. There's no bad guys in this movie. It's just everybody trying to do what's best to help E.T. Everyone is trying to. And nobody really knows what's best. And it turns out that what's best is what the main kid thought was best, but it wasn't what the adults would have thought was best. And hey, if I was in this in the same situation and the kid was trying to interact closely with the alien, if it was my kid trying to do that, I'd be like, no, don't interact closely with the alien. You have no idea what this alien is going to do. Even if it's a nice alien, it may have biological things on it that will hurt you, whether that's toxins or virus or bacteria or whatever that may be on it that can kill you. So I would not want my kid hanging out with an alien from another planet. Like, I wouldn't want that. Just because who knows what came with him from another planet. And so there's no bad guys in it. And I think that was on purpose. I think it was done, the film was intentionally made so that when children watch it, they perceive the adults as bad guys all the way through the whole thing. Because children are unlikely to catch the nuance of what the adults are doing. But as an adult watches it, these are all good people, just some of them are making the wrong decisions, but not because they're doing it maliciously and not because the things that they're doing are obviously wrong. It's just that the things that they're doing by chance are wrong, but they're the things that most responsible adults would do in this situation. So I think that's part of what makes E.T. such a good lasting movie, is that it's different depending on what stage of life you're actually in when you watch it. Your perception is different. I think, too, that it's a situation that many people, although you can't necessarily relate directly to it, the thing that the movie is about will be something that you can connect to regardless of when you're from, I think. In that E.T., the alien, is something from far away. Something that nobody on Earth understands. Nobody you know understands. You don't understand. And it comes to you. And you have a connection with it. And then you develop that relationship with the new unusual thing. And other people don't understand it, and other people don't have the same connection. And I think those sort of overall things are timeless, universal challenges. That each of us has our own life with different experiences, different interests, and different connections to the things, people, and animals around us. And so it came out in 1982, where the technology that existed at the time is way different. Like, my kids growing up aren't going to be able to relate to the difficulties in communication that exist in the movie E.T. But the heart of the film doesn't rely on that. So, yeah, there's difficulties in communication, but they are trying to communicate to space, which is something that, at least right now, is still not apparently simple for the average person. Like, yeah, we have cell phones and stuff, but I can't call someone in space with it. Although it probably wouldn't be that complex to set up. And there are people that can call into space, but not the average person. The other interesting thing I thought about this was that, obviously, I didn't see it in theaters. And I had seen it on tape. And this, of course, is the 4K release of it. And it's outstanding. It looks so good. Like, it looks great. I don't think that when my kids watched it would think they're watching a movie that's older than their parents. You know, that sometimes we watch old movies and they're like, yeah, that looks old and not very good. This is not like that. It looks excellent. And except for there's a few scenes where they're obviously doing some sort of special effect or something to have the alien's spaceship, and I'm not sure what they had originally done to make that happen, but those shots look terrible now. They look so bad. So you have mostly a really pristine, great looking movie with a couple of shots that are just super pixely and bad looking. But if you ignore those couple of scenes, it is superb throughout the whole thing. And certainly the best I've ever seen it. Now, I don't know if it looked better in the theater or not. And it probably depended on your theater. So it's one of those things that I hadn't watched a whole lot of 4K movies on my TV, my 4K TV yet when I bought this. And when I saw it, I was just blown away by how good it looked. Now, there are more detailed and pristine movies out there now. Mortal Engines is one that comes to mind as being just amazing looking. And this isn't as good looking as that. But Mortal Engines is new. And so you would hope that as we carry on forward that the movies look better and better over time. But yeah, E.T., if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's definitely a great movie. And it's one that I think almost anyone could enjoy. Whether it's a little kid or a teenager or an adult, I think there's things in it that you can connect and relate to for pretty much everyone. That it has that universal feel to it. And maybe you never grew up being a kid who rides bikes around and plays in the woods and stuff, but I think most people can relate to that. I've discovered something different and new, and it's meaningful to me, and other people don't get it. I think that's a pretty common feeling that people have. And I think you should watch it. If you have any questions, if you want to challenge my opinion on ET, if you have something interesting to say, let me know. And just thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support as I continue to try to do this. As you may have noticed, I have been trying to put out a bunch of like little tiny videos where I just talk about one little thing about a movie and not really talk about it, just mention it basically. And so I'm trying to do those 5 days a week, which I think will be a challenge for me to be able to maintain that output of things I think will be interesting to say. But I hope that they are interesting to you and that you enjoy them. And I hope you can support me. Thank you very much, and bye for now.